Okay, this is from LawlessBaron, and it's titled "Why Starter Ships Will Be Useless in Star Citizen." I right off the bat don't think that they would be useless. I think that they are not. Um, I think that they're getting just skipped by everybody buying ships on the website. But I'm kind of curious what he has to say about this, and yeah.
Hey everyone, it's Baron here. Today we're going to be doing a video
Baron? I
on
said Lawless
systems
Baron.
again and talking about starter ships and just ships in general. This seems to be a good sort of talking point. I know a lot of you didn't like the fact what I was saying about starter ships in the last
Really,
video.
Bruce?
What I mean is you may be able to jump there with your jump drive through the portal. It's just the fact that the system is so big, you might not actually be able to sort of jump around between the planets. And yes, they're doing a QT rework, but I
Watch to the end for a little
don't
surprise.
think any of this is going to change,
Okay.
let alone I don't think you're wanting to go over there in said ship because of the potential dangers and the issues. And I just want to touch on that, some of these systems are going to be really freaking huge, okay? So what is Pyro, like 13 AU, and then there's one that is 1 astronomical units. This system here is 199 astronomical units.
So we're not going to get it.
That's big. Just think about that for a little while. It's a single star. It's Xeon affiliated, but the size of this system is just ridiculous. Like, Stanton would probably just take up that middle planet. And
Oh, wow.
this is something that people need to realize is, yes, they're working towards making us work as multi-crews, multi-roles, and just different aspects to Star Citizen. But what you don't realize is how big some of these systems are going to be and what ships you may need to get around on these systems and how many people you may need with you, because you may not be able to get around to these systems on a single ship. Yes, granted, you might be able to jump from the portal to one of these other planets and sort of get around that way, but you need to realize at the end of the day, you're going to need eventually have a support fleet. So when I said Starline,
Not necessarily. I mean, if you're going to use this system as an example, this system is in GN space, as he said. It looks like that there's a lot of settlements and that there could possibly be plenty of refueling capabilities and stations all around that system. I don't think we can use the lawless empty pyro system, as the same example as a system like whatever Ailka is, right? So yes and no. I kind of see where he's going, but
I did mean Starfarer, but again, you will need something like a Starliner as well, since you will be able to carry stuff in that. Having a Banu Merchantman, having a Polaris, Starfarer, Crucible, all of those support ships are going to be necessary when you go through a lot of these systems, because a lot of the systems aren't going to have those necessary things that you need, like refueling, rearming, and stations. It's going to be few and far between. Look, this one's 0 astronomical units. So if you really look at this arc map and think about the grand scheme and the size of these systems and how you're going to be able to get around, you sort of have to take into consideration how big these systems are going to be. Like, there's one that's 65. So at the end of the day, the systems that we have are, they're particularly small. 13 AU is still big, but compared to Pyro, it's compared to Stanton, Stanton's rather small than what we have right now.
13.
So those with Auroras, any sort of Avenger, any type of real small ship, I mean, you might need to consider teaming up with people. And this is what I mean when I
Okay, so this is the classic Star Citizen conundrum, in my opinion here. This is the classic, I look at the current game now and the way it works now and apply what is going to happen in the future based off of the current game that I play now. You're not playing Star Citizen, Lawless. That's how I look at it, is the way things should work in the future, and they've always communicated this, is let's use Hurston as an example. You go to Hurston, and that there would be a lot of things for you to do just around Hurston. So even the pain of quantum traveling around the Stanton system wouldn't be as painful. Also, I would absolutely imagine quantum drives are going to be re-established how far they can go the moment Pyro goes in. I don't think that we're going to keep. I think that they've tuned quantum drives to the current system that we play in, and that's it. But the idea would be your starter ship, your combat ships, your ships that can't travel very far, you use those in those bubbles that you're hanging out in. Okay, I'm doing a bunch of quests and things around here. Hold on. And then from there, I go ahead and do things in that system, in that area, in that bubble for a while, and then I move on. And then, yeah, you might use a ship to move on. But who's to say that you can't hire an NPC to travel you somewhere else, right? That could be a thing as well. So I don't want to say that, because I think what he's saying is starter ships will be useless. But if you really look at it, he's saying that single-seaters will be, and single-seaters won't be.
Say multi-role and multi-cruise, because it's going to be a thing where you're going to need someone with you.
Like
you're not going to be able to just go by yourself. You're going to need that support if you want to go do an endeavor, or if you want to go do some exploration. You're going to need that assistance and that support there. So go into this arc map, really look into these systems and see, you know, what you're going to be able to do, where you're going to be able to go, how you're going to be able to explore these systems, because at the end of the day, you might just be left in.
I really hope we're hanging around a certain planet doing all this content in that area and then move on.
Stanton or one of those smaller systems, and you might not be able to go anywhere else and do anything unless you're doing a hard grind and you're getting these ships that you want to get, so that you can actually go out and get the credits that you need to buy these ships. But then you need to ask yourself, will you have the manpower to crew that ship? I mean, a lot of people don't ask that question because, you know, people just go out and buy ships, and they don't really, you know, they don't really think of that particular case.
Well, they don't have to think, because CIG said that they can hire NPCs.
And people tell me like, oh, you know, you're a YouTuber, you can get people together easy. It's not that simple. I mean, I can do that, but having the logistics to be able to pull that many people together and be able to get people to do a role is going to be difficult, because everyone's going to be like, I want to fly the ship, I want to fly the ship, I want to do this, I want to do that, and everyone's going to get an assigned designated location or role on the ship, and it's probably not going to be something that they like, but a lot of people just won't really care. They'll sort of just go with the flow and sort of just go with it and then play those roles anyway, if that makes sense. But again, let me know down in the comments what you all think of this. I know it seems pretty harsh on people who own basic starter ships. I mean, once the Pyro system comes out, there's going to be so many people with Banu Merchantmans, Carracks, Odysseys, all sorts of different ships if the Odyssey comes out. And they will be able to give you that sort of that taxiing service over there. Who knows, there could be taxiing missions that will work like beacons so that people can transport you to another system. But again, I don't think it's going to be something that will be cheap. It will be something that will cost you a little bit in UEC or AUEC, so take that into consideration. Just sort of think about the angles and whether or not you really want to go to Pyro, because like I have said, and multiple people have said, this is a lawless system. There is no law. There is nothing to govern people from just wrecking you all the time and just taking all of your stuff, and then when you come back, do it again. And then they may even do like a toll service or a toll fee on the jump gates, and you might not be strong enough or big enough to be able to do that said
honestly, I can't wait for that moment. I can't wait for it to be actually painful to go to a system and people being gated from their content based on skill.
A toll fee, right? Or you might not be able to be big enough to be able to get out of that scenario, so you have to pay that fee, or you have to find another alternative, or maybe even turn around and go back to Stanton and then, you know, readjust and refigure out what you want to do and what you need to do to get where you want to be, because like I'm talking about right now, it's not going to be as easy as you think it will be to get over there. You know, the first time going over there, everyone might be pretty chilled about it. Everyone might not, you know, be as intimidating to others. Everyone will just let everyone explore and do their thing. I'm hoping that will be the case, but again, it's just taking into the fact that, you know, we need to be prepared for this, and we need to be ready to go into the pyro system. Me, I don't really care. I'm just gonna jump straight in my character and hammerhead with some other guys and go straight over there. I don't really care as such. I mean, I'm just going to go down to planets and I'm going to explore, have a look around, and sort of just do some low flying, enjoy the ambience and the atmosphere of the system, since it's going to look amazing and it's going to be awesome. But I hope if you do have starter ships and the launch day comes and you want to go over there and check it out, jump into Discord, jump in with us. I don't mind, because it just means that people are going to, forced to come together. It creates a good experience. It creates a good time within the verse, and people are going to be enjoying and having a better experience overall. I mean, just look at this system and how much there is to explore. So think about it, take it on board, and just look how far the Pyro Stanton jump point is out from the entire system. And remember what I said, Stanton is the size of this bit here, or that bit there. So take it into consideration. Think about it. Let me know down in the comments. Join our Discord. If you liked it, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
I mean, actually, Stanton isn't, right? Or no, maybe it is. Yeah. That's an interesting take. So when you come through the jump point, how are you going to be able to get to and from? I guess that's the point he's trying to make, but I don't think starter ships will be useless. I don't buy his title. I think that's a little meant to be a clicky title, which good on you, Lawless, and made me click it for sure. But the it also does get your kind of brain flowing and thinking about single seater ships and things like that. But they're not going to be useless, because single-seater ships and agility and, I mean, maybe their weapons loadout, their ability to dogfight, their ability to hide behind things, and I would imagine their stealthiness would be very valued in a system like that as well. So I just don't find them being useless, but I do find using ships like, oh man, I always forget it. It's literally a ferry ship from Anvil. It's one of my ships that I'm most excited for, to be honest, because I think that kind of gameplay is really important. I'm sure chat will tell me in a moment. But the Liberator, the Liberator, that one is, kind of the entire point here is because single-seater ships do have value. You need the Liberator to kind of move them around. And that's kind of standard video game stuff to me. I don't see, especially MMO stuff, like, yes, will playing solo be easy? I think that's like almost the question that he's asking here in a lot of ways. Will playing solo be easy? No, and it shouldn't be. Right? It's an MMO. It's meant to bring people together and meant to group up. And that's kind of what the variety in ships is meant to do as well, is, hey, I have this ship, you have that ship. Let's join forces together, whatever, right? Like, that's kind of the point of the game. So yeah, I just think like the angle he's taking at it is a little bit weird, but overall, I think the coolest thing that we got out of the video was just the sheer size of some of those systems. Holy crap. But yeah, here you go. Here's Lawless's video in the chat. Make sure you go hit subscribe and like and all that stuff if you guys enjoyed it.